What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is CJ and Out of Bounds. In today's video, we're going to be doing another NBA PrizePicks board breakdown for January 16th. It's almost 1 p.m. here on the East Coast. I just got done shooting the NFL PrizePicks video for this weekend's NFL divisional playoff games. So check that out if you're looking for the best picks for Saturday and Sunday. I'll link to the video here in the card above. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. On Out of Bounds, we do everything from all the hottest off-the-field stories in sports to daily fantasy sports. So all things sports, well, this is your one-stop shop for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And leave a like, a comment, share the video. It always helps the channel grow. We're getting there slowly but steadily. So without further ado, let's jump into the news real quick. We're just going to hit on the impact rating of 10. So the most extreme news first, and that being Nurkic with a broken wrist. He's out indefinitely. We've got Kyrie Irving, who is out against the Orlando Magic due to COVID protocol. Thank God. Orlando Magic fan here. We need all the help we can get right now. James Harden, he's questionable. This could be the first time we see James Harden in a Brooklyn Nets uniform, but we'll see. John Wall, he's out with a knee injury. Gordon Hayward's considered questionable with a hip strain. Joel Embiid, he is out with a knee injury. He's going to miss a couple of games, is Embiid. Ja Morant, questionable. Has his first chance to play is today, so that would be cool to get Ja Morant back in the league. Bam Adebayo, he's questionable due to COVID protocol. Jimmy Butler is out due to COVID protocol. So that's going to do it for all the major news around the association. So without further ado, let's jump right into the projections. Now, I don't have projections for the San Antonio Spurs-Houston Rockets game, unfortunately, so I'm going to skip over those, and I'm going to start with the Orlando Magic and Brooklyn Nets. The big man, Nikola Vucevic, also known as Vooch, he's projected for 44 points today, so let's take a look and see where they've got him on Roto Grinders. You got to love that. 49.37. Huge over on Nikola Vucevic. Let's take a look at his recent game logs and see how Mr. Vooch has been doing for us. 33 in his last one. He got yanked early, guys. He played just about 26 minutes. Unfortunately, they got blown out by the Boston Celtics, so Vooch did not get a full run of minutes. Something that has been a thorn in our sides all season has been these blowouts. So if you think that the games are going to blow out, I recommend you stick to playing the first half if they have them available on PrizePicks. Play the first half games if you can, and take the first half over on some of these guys who are projected very favorably, like Nick Vucevic is here tonight. Anyway, 47, 57, 43, and then we go back down to 34 in his last few games here. Against Brooklyn, this is his first meeting against the Nets, so we don't have a previous game log for Vooch against the Nets. Let's take a look here. He's projected to play 34 minutes tonight. The Magic are projected to score 108.25 points as a team. He's a versatile big man, and versatile bigs against the Nets have done pretty well, as the Nets rank just 24th against versatile big man. Now, this is a back-to-back for Vooch, his third game in 4 nights, so fatigue could be a factor, which is probably why they sat him early in the blowout. Otherwise, he has been playing deep into games and been getting big minutes most nights, but being that it's a back-to-back, guys, that's another thing to watch out for. They ended up resting Vooch in the last one, so expect him to get plenty of run tonight. I expect a bounce-back game for Vooch. He's putting up 1.4 fantasy points per minute, which we love. We love to see that. And then we look at the game totals here. Brooklyn is projected to score 117.25 points versus Orlando, who is projected to score 108.25 points. So you're looking at like a 9-point spread. So things could definitely get out of hand, but hopefully Vooch gets to play big-time minutes and go over his projection of 44 on PrizePicks. The other side of this game is Kevin Durant. Of course, we know that there's major star power now on the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, there already was with the likes of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Karis LeVert. Well, now they've got Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. So lots and lots of firepower there. They're probably favorites now in the East. But let's talk Kevin Durant. He's projected for 48 points. We'll go over to small forward here and find Durant. There he is. They've got him at 45.38, so they like the under on Kevin Durant tonight. Let's look at his recent game logs and See what they say. 43.6 in his last one against the Knicks, 57.3 against Denver, and 54.2 against OKC. So Kevin Durant's been hooping, guys. He's been balling out of control. He's a fantastic, talented player. There's not much I really need to say about KD. But let's look at his minutes tonight. Projected to play 34 minutes. The Nets, as a team, are projected to score 117.25, as we mentioned before. He is a versatile forward. Versatile forwards against the Magic on paper, this isn't a very good matchup for KD. Magic rank number 1 in the league against versatile forwards, and 1.4 fantasy points per minute. Now, if Kevin Durant was just some nameless versatile forward, I would have cause for concern. But in this case, this is KD. Okay, this is what's his name? Easy Money Sniper. All right, you get the picture. Kevin Durant, I'm not really worried about the matchup for Kevin Durant. Let's move on to the next guy, James Harden. Do we have projections for James Harden? He's projected for 49 tonight. He has the chance to join his new team. Let's see if he's on the board. He is. And they've got him at 45.57 points. He is questionable to play, though. I'm not even going to bother opening up his game logs because that was with a different team, a whole different situation, and this is totally unpredictable, something totally new here. We don't know what James Harden's going to do if he does play. We don't know what his role's going to be. We don't know how many shots he's going to get. It's like hitting the reset button on Mr. Harden. But we do know that the Nets are going to score a healthy amount of points. He's a combo guard in the Magic. They rank 13th against combo guards, and James Harden, he puts up 1.3 fantasy points per minute, or at least he did in his previous life as a Houston Rocket. So this might be a good opportunity for you to take the under on James Harden as he gets acclimated to a new team, a new offense. Who knows? It's a bit of a crapshoot with Harden tonight. Well, let's move on to the next game. We've got the Charlotte Hornets versus the Toronto Raptors. And we've been talking about LaMelo Ball quite a bit lately. I'd like to stay on the LaMelo Ball train, as this kid is just, well, like his name would indicate, a baller, should we say. So let's take a look at his projections here on Roto Grinders. They've got him projected at 30.23 points. Popping open the game logs on Mr. Ball. His last game, he did ball. He balled out 44.7 points. Then the game before that was a big downer, 17.9 points. Going back to 3 games ago against the Knicks, 46.3, 54.9. So huge upside for this young man. We know what he can do. We know what type of player he is. Now, he's playing the Raptors tonight, as we mentioned. Well, the last game that he played was also against the Raptors, so this is another game against the Raptors. In just 26 minutes of playing time, the guy put up over 44 fantasy points. So we've talked about it in previous videos. We know LaMelo Ball can crush his projection. That 37 seems a bit light. Seems a bit light to me. I do wish his minutes were up around 30 or more, but I mean, from a fantasy points per minute standpoint, guys, he's up there with some of the best in the league. And, you know, this kid is just a rookie, just a handful of games into his young career. Charlotte, they're projected to score 106.25 points. He's a distributor type of point guard, and it looks like Toronto doesn't do very well against distributor point guards, ranking 30th in the league against that type. And then finally, fantasy points per minute for LaMelo Ball. I've already alluded to it. He is a monster, 1.32 fantasy points. And then last but not least, Toronto, they're projected to score 113.25 as a team. Charlotte, 106.25. So there is some blowout potential. There is some cause for concern here, but LaMelo Ball, being a young man that he is, if it's a blowout, maybe he gets that run late in the fourth quarter. Maybe he gets some time to get out there and showcase his skills even further and pad his stats. We'll just have to wait and see. On the other side of that game, let's talk Pascal Siakam. Siakam in recent games on PrizePicks, his projection has been down in the mid-30s range. Well, it looks like PrizePicks has cranked up the dial, turned the dial on Pascal Siakam, and they've got him up over 40 now, guys. So 41 is his projection tonight. I don't love that, just going off of recent memory. It seems like a lot for Pascal Siakam. But let's take a look and see if maybe he can get there. 37.69 is his projection on Roto Grinders. So, like I said, man, that 41 seems a bit high for this dude. I kind of like the under right now, but let's dig a little deeper and see if we can come up with a conclusion for Pascal Siakam. 39.4 in his last game. Okay, 52.6, so huge game there. 40.7, 3 games back. If we go 4 and 5 games back, 49 and 52. Now, we talked about it. This is a rematch here, Charlotte and Toronto. The last time he met Charlotte, 39.4 points. So he would have fallen short of his projection of 41 tonight. Let's look across the board here. We've already talked about the total for Toronto. He's a versatile forward, is Siakam. Versatile forwards against Charlotte haven't fared well on paper. Charlotte ranks 4th against versatile forwards. And then Pascal Siakam is putting up 1.11 fantasy points per game. So there you have it on Siakam. Let's move on. We will talk one more Toronto Raptor here. Let's go Fred VanVleet. VanVleet had a stretch of games where he was just absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire for us. The 37 just didn't seem like it was quite enough of a projection that they needed to like bump him up closer to like 39, maybe even venture into the 40s. But let's see what VanVleet can do for you tonight. He's projected at 36.37 over on Roto Grinders. Let's crack open the game logs on VanVleet. He's been struggling lately, guys. He has been struggling. I mean, it's not for a lack of minutes because the minutes are there. 35 minutes led to 26 fantasy points. 36 minutes led to 19 fantasy points. And then he had that stretch where he was doing much better. If you go back here, a few games, 53, 50, 46, so he was killing it. And here's a 48 for you even more recently. His last game against Charlotte, told you he played good minutes, but didn't muster very many fantasy points, just 26.2. So let's look across the board here. He is a combo guard who is projected to play 36 minutes tonight. Charlotte ranks 15th against combo guards. And then Fred VanVleet is hitting that gold standard of 1 fantasy point per minute or more at 1.06. So there you have it on Fred VanVleet at 37. That's a trick. That is a trick. I'd stay away from it. Next guy up, Ben Simmons, Philadelphia 76ers point guard, facing off against the Memphis Grizzlies at 8:10 p.m. That seems like a big number for Big Ben Simmons, doesn't it? 44. 44 is his projection. Let's look across the board here. They got him at 43.66 on Ben Simmons. We're going to take a look at his game logs and see what he's been up to. 44 in his last one against Miami. Game before that against Miami, 30.2. Then he missed 2 games. If we go back, 22.8 against Brooklyn, 45.2. So this dude, if you look at his game logs, he's been up or down. Mr. Yo-Yo, we'll call him. Mr. Yo-Yo, Ben Simmons. Do we trust him tonight? I mean, I don't really trust him, especially not at 44, not to go over 44. I know that Joel Embiid's not in the lineup, so there should be more production for guys like Ben Simmons and company on the Philadelphia 76ers. He's projected to play 35 minutes tonight. The 76ers are projected to score 110.5 points as a team. He's considered a distributor point guard. He may be asked to score a little bit more and not be so much of a distributor tonight. But for the season, Memphis ranks first against distributor point guard types. And Mr. Simmons is averaging 1.18 fantasy points per minute. So there you have it on Ben. Let me look at the game totals real quick. Sorry, Memphis 109.5, Philadelphia 110.5. So Philadelphia, even without Embiid, is a 1-point favorite. But this game, 1-point spread, doesn't look like it's going to blow out. But crazier things have happened, right? So there you go on that one. Let's move on to the next guy on the list. We haven't talked Dylan Brooks in a while, and it's a love-hate relationship with Dylan Brooks, right? 25 is his projection tonight. We know what Brooks can do on most nights. He's a pretty decent little player. He can score the ball a little bit, does a little bit of everything, but will he get there for you tonight if you take the over? Well, Roto Grinder seems to think so. They've got him at 28.14 fantasy points. Opening up the game logs, it's not very good. And what I mean by that is we don't see a solid stream of production from this guy. His last game, played 27 minutes, had 17.4 points. Game before that, 39, 27, 24, 28, 23. So those mid to upper 20s, those averages seem to be the norm for Dillon Brooks. We don't have a previous game log of Memphis versus Philly, so this is the first time that these two teams will meet. He's projected to play 30 minutes tonight. Memphis, 109.5 is their game total for their team. He's a scoring wing, and scoring wings against Philly have struggled, on paper at least. Philly ranks 6th against scoring wings. This is a back-to-back for Dillon Brooks, also 3 games and 4 nights. And he's putting up 0.98 fantasy points per minute. So you'd like to see that number go up a little bit more for Brooks in order for us to trust him. 1 or more is really where we want to be, but it's a close one for Brooks. They think he goes over, but you guys decide on that one. Let's talk Jeremy Grant. This dude has had a fantastic, under-the-radar, low-key good season. He's playing for the Detroit Pistons these days. He's facing off against the Miami Heat. We haven't talked a ton about Jeremy Grant or any, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Do they have him at power forward? No, maybe small forward. There we go. Jeremy Grant projected for 35.76 points, which puts him slightly over, but hey, they're right on the money is PrizePicks on his projection tonight. Looking at his recent game logs, though, 34.3 versus Milwaukee, 43.8 versus Utah, a 47 versus Phoenix, 44, 43. So, guys, in his last 5 games, he's went over his projection tonight. Yeah, he's only missed that 35-point marker 1 time in his last 5 games. So, the over is looking real strong for Jeremy Grant here. Does he have a previous game log against Miami? Does not. So this is his first meeting, his first matchup against the Heat. Let's take a look. They like him to play 36 minutes tonight. The Pistons are projected to score 106.5 points, which is kind of a low team total. But he's a versatile forward, and versatile forwards against the Heat have done really well. The Heat ranked just 28th against versatile forwards. This will be a back-to-back for Grant, 3 games and 4 nights for him. And he's averaging over 1 fantasy point per minute for the Detroit Pistons. So, Bam Adebayo, he's questionable to play tonight. No Jimmy Butler. I mean, this could be a very, very good spot for Jeremy Grant to go over his projection of 35, and that's how I am looking at Grant, over on Grant in that 35. So let's talk about the other side of this game. You guys have been clicking Tyler Herro's name quite a bit in recent memory, so let's talk Ty and see what he can do here. Herro, he's a shooting guard over on FanDuel. By the way, we use FanDuel for these videos because FanDuel scoring is the exact same as PrizePicks. So if this is your first time watching one of these videos and you're wondering why I'm using FanDuel, well, that's why. So his projection tonight, 33.6 for Tyler. Looking at his game logs here, 28.7 against Philly, 45.4 against Philly, 41.8 against Washington, and so on. So when Jimmy Butler's out of the lineup, guys, I like Tyler Herro's production. Tonight, Bam will be in the lineup, possibly. It's looking like it, but no Jimmy Butler tonight. He's already been ruled out. So this is another situation where Tyler Herro is going to ask to score or be scoring more for the Miami Heat. And as we talked about, no previous matchups for the Heat and Pistons. He's projected to play 34 minutes tonight. The Miami Heat are projected to score 111 points as a team. He's a combo guard. Combo guards versus Detroit have done well. Detroit ranks just 27th against combo guards. And Herro's averaging 0.89 fantasy points per minute. But again, without Jimmy Butler in the lineup, that number should go up. He should be closer to like 1 or more fantasy points. We've seen his game logs without Butler in the lineup, and they've been like 40 plus on some of these nights here. So last thing to look at is the game totals and spread. Miami, 111. Detroit, 106.5. So Miami is favored by a few points here at home, but I don't think that this game blows out, or at least not until the later stages of the game. So I wouldn't be worried about Tyler Herro being a victim of a blowout here. But as always, if you think he is, Well, play the first half on Tyler Harrow and take the over. I mean, maybe he gets it done in one half of play for you. Moving right along, though, let's talk one more guy here. Bam Adebayo. If he does play tonight, what can we expect from Bam Bam? Well, he's projected for 40 right now. So let's take a look and see how he stacks up here on Roto Grinders. 39 points is his projection. So they like a slight under on Bam. And then we go down the list here. 33.2 in his last game, 43.6, 34.6, 44, 53. So, I mean, he's floating most nights around that mid 30 to lower 40 range is Bam. So I think they're pretty on point with their projection is PrizePicks at 40. But let's look. He's projected to play 30 minutes, which is a light load for Bam. Normally he plays a bit more minutes than that. And he's a versatile big man. Versatile bigs against Detroit. Well, Detroit's kind of tough against versatile bigs, ranking 12th in the league there. And then finally, fantasy points per minute, 1.26. So very, very productive when he is out on the floor playing minutes. But I don't like the fact that they have him projected at just 30 minutes tonight. So keep an eye on Bam's status. He's questionable as of right now. We're not for sure that he's going to actually take the court tonight. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Anybody else we want to talk about from this game? Let's move along. We'll try to make a shorter video today. Next up, we got Trae Young. Trae Young's taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. This should be a good little duel here between Trae Young and Damian Lillard. Trae is projected for 40 points. This is a late game. 10:10 p.m. is tip-off. Let's see how Trae Young's faring today on Roto Grinders. They like a slight over for Trae Young at 41.6. Let's take a look at his game logs. His last one was 23.3. Game before that, 44.6. And you got a 28 and a 13. So there's been some really crappy games for Trae Young here. And his minutes have been kind of all over the place as well. 25 and 24 in his last couple of games. You'd like to see him stay hovering around that mid-30 range, 35, 37 or more minutes. This is his first meeting, I believe. Yeah, first meeting against Portland, so we don't have any previous game logs for Trae Young against the Blazers. He's projecting to play 34 minutes tonight, so that's pretty good. We'll take that out of Trae. 114.75 is the Hawks total. He's a combo guard. Combo guards against Portland have done well. Portland ranks just 21st in the league against combo guards. This is a back-to-back for Trae Young, playing 3 games in 4 nights. So he's been playing some healthy minutes and a lot of games lately, guys. So you got to keep that in mind. Fatigue could be a factor. 1.19 fantasy points per minute. So not bad when he's out there and he's getting minutes. And then finally, let's look at the spread on this game. Portland, 119.75. Atlanta projected for 114.75. Just a 5-point spread. So this one looks like it's going to stay competitive. It looks like it's going to stay close. And if that's the case, then we could see Trae Young go over 34 minutes here. So I don't mind this spot for Trae Young. I think this is going to be one of those type of up and down the floor, run and gun, lots of shots going up. And I think Trae Young is going to benefit from that. So I like the over on Trae Young and his 40. Let's talk about the guy that's going to be facing off against Trae Young on the other side of the ball here. Dame Lillard. Is it Dame time tonight, or are we taking the under on Damian Lillard again like we have in recent weeks? Let's take a look. He's projected for 47 on PrizePicks. Well, they like him at 47 over on Roto Grinders as well, guys. So they're right on the money here. They're right on the money for Damian Lillard. But his last game was a downer, 33.2, and he played 35 minutes, so plenty of minutes there. The one before that, 69.7. And you got a 33.9, a 33.8, and then another big 65.9, and then a 43.5. So if we look at the collection of game logs that we have here for Damian Lillard, well, how many times in recent memory has he went over his projection of 47? So 1, 2, just 2 times in how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say 2 times in his last 7 games, he's went over tonight's projection of 47. I don't trust him. I don't trust him to do it. We mentioned that maybe this game pops off and it's a run and gun, high scoring type of game, and it's projected to be. the highest scoring game on the board. But it's hard for me to trust Lillard. He's projected to play 36 minutes tonight. We talked about Portland. They're going to be posting about 120 points on tonight's slate in this matchup against the Hawks. He's a combo guard, and Atlanta against combo guards, not very good. They rank just 20th against combo guards. And Lillard, he's putting up 1.22 fantasy points per minute. So there you have it. I don't trust Dame time. I think we go under on Damian Lillard, but what do you guys think? Drop a comment below. Maybe I'm wrong on Dame. Maybe you know something I don't. Let me in on your secrets. I want to know if I should be taking the over or under on Damian Lillard. Let's talk CJ McCollum. You know, they had him at 36, and boy, we loved that 36. We were clicking the over on 36, night in, night out on CJ McCollum. Well, PrizePicks, they pulled the rug out from under us, and they jacked his price up by a few points, and now he's at 39. And 39 is enough for me to stop and think a little bit harder about CJ McCollum and clicking the over. But tonight, guys, at 39 might be too light. That might not be enough points for CJ McCollum. They like him to go for almost 45 points over on Roto Grinders. Open up his game logs and let's take a peek. His last one wasn't a very good one. 33.6, but neither was Damian Lillard. They both had bad games last game. We go back here and look, 50, 47, 50, 31, 42, 51, 44. So how many times has this guy went over 39? Well, he's went over 39. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times. And there's only been a handful of times where he hasn't scored at least 39 or more. I'm loving this, man. I think I'm back on the CJ McCollum over train. What do you guys think, though? 36 minutes projected to be his playing time tonight. We already talked about the total for Portland being close to 120 points. He's a scoring wing. Scoring wings against Atlanta, they rank 13th against scoring wings. 1.27 fantasy points per minute for CJ McCollum. Guys, I know it ain't 36, and I miss 36 too. Rest in peace to 36. But I like 39. 39's not enough to get me off of going over on CJ McCollum, especially in this matchup with the amount of points that are projected to be scored by both teams, with the game projected to be close as it is. He's my lock of the night. CJ McCollum, let's go over. We're going over on CJ. We'll talk one more guy here from this game. We'll go Clint Capella. 33 points is his projection. Somebody had Clint Capella the other night, and I sent my little minions out to put a hex on Clint Capella and keep him under so that that person could cash. So congratulations to you, sir. I'm glad that my little minions and their little hex that they put out there on Clint Capella worked. Capella projected for 33 points in tonight's game. Let's see how that stacks up here on Roto Grinders. They like him for 33.89. Shoot, I can even push that up to 34. Let's round it up. So that would be a slight over for Capella. His last game, 29.2, 29.7, 25.1. We've got a 34, a 29. So guys, that like mid to upper 20 range seems to be money for Clint Capella. Very rarely does he venture into the 30s or more. So, this 33 on Capella, I'm starting to lean under that. But let's see here. 30 minutes he's projected to play. Hawks are projected again to score about 115 points. He's a post-up big man. And post-up big men against Portland, well, Portland hasn't been very good against post-up big men. And we talked about it at the top of the show. No Nurkic for a while now. Nurkic is going to be out. So next man up would be Enes Kanter. Do you think Enes Kanter is going to stop Clint Capella? Kanter hasn't been known as a very good defender in his time in the league. He's more of a rebounder. He gets a lot of that dirty work on the inside, those little putbacks and stuff. He's not known as being like some kind of Marc Gasol or, an enforcer on the inside or anything. So I don't know. This is a tricky one for me. This is a back-to-back for Capella, 3 games in 4 nights. He puts up 1.16 fantasy points per minute. So, I'm probably taking the under on Clint Capella, but I could be wrong. You guys let me know what you think of some of these picks. Are you liking the overs? Are you liking the unders? Drop some comments down below. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, what is you doing? If you're not in the Discord chat, what are you doing? There's a link down in the description below for you to join the Discord. That's where all the PrizePicks talk goes down. We do all different sports in there: NBA, NFL, CSGO, college basketball, you name it, we play it. We like throwing some money out there. We make it rain whenever we can. Hopefully we make a few bucks. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is CJ, Out of Bounds. Good luck tonight. Let's make some money, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.